Hello and welcome back to Globally Awkward. So this video is set after the events of the Ollie White book signing. If you haven't seen my vlogs, go and check out my vlog channel, the link is in the description. Yeah, so we went to a book signing, to cut a long story short, go and watch the video. I have accumulated many YouTuber books over the years. They are only ones that I felt I needed to read or ones that I wanted to because I knew the YouTuber or just because I sort of wanted to. So it's not like I've bought every single YouTuber book there is or the ones just that I watch. They're actually books that I recommend and have read and thought were really good. The most recent book I have bought is Lily Singh, How to Be a Boss. I'm going to say boss, but it's like a boss, but like, yeah. It's kind of a guide to life in a way. It's quite a big chunky book, but I definitely recommend reading it. The pictures in it are really good. They're quite cleverly photographed. Things like that. It starts off with things like this. And each chapter has kind of quotes and things in, like that. So, for example, if you can't control people, then control your reaction to them. If you can't control a situation, then prepare for it, which I think is quite true. There's loads and loads of things packed into this book. So if you like, I can't remember the difference between fiction and non-fiction. If you like factual books about kind of life and suggestions by someone who isn't a professional but is just maybe a bit older than you and just knows a bit more about that sort of thing. The next one, if you watched my vlogs, you will know that I went to the creator store with friends. I bought this. I've been wanting to read this ever since it came out, and I've seen it in WH Smith and things like that loads, but it's been expensive, and I've thought, well, I've got Christmas presents to buy, or I've got birthday presents to buy, or whatever it's happened to be at the time, and I just never got round to buying it. But I saw it in the creator store and I was like, that's it, like, I came here to buy things like this. So I really like the way the cover's done on this. There's a girl called Rowan and she is a twin. She's got a twin brother, and in this world, that's Rowan, by the way, and that's her brother. In this fictional world, it's kind of futuristic. Parents are only allowed one child, and Rowan's mum had twins, so they ended up with her brother, who is the older one, going to school and being a normal child, and she stayed at home. And just at the beginning of the book, she's really kind of distressed that she doesn't get to go out, and things escalate from there. So if you like things that are futuristic, and if you like Joe Graceffa, who wrote the book, I would really recommend reading this. For this next one, there are several books, but they're all essentially the same thing. I read this book, in fact, I reread it more recently, and I thought it was really good. It's kind of a bit YouTubey, but it's about a group of friends who start up a business online for people. It's kind of like an online blog. I'm not saying a vlog because it's not, but they interviewed pop stars and things like that and put the interviews online. And they started this website called Generation Next. There's a main character called Jack, and he has had a difficult past with previous schools and things like that. So he's there to make a fresh start, and things change and he makes friends and things happen. So if that's the sort of thing you're into, I really recommend reading this. There is also a new one out, which is what I went to the book signing for. This is the normal cover, as far as I know. This one's called The Takeover. It's the second version. I also have this, which is I think it might even be, this is a WH Smith exclusive one. So, yeah. I really recommend reading these, but obviously read Generation Next first because that will help you to understand the rest of the story. Now, this one is slightly different for me. These are the Sidemen. You might know them. It's 7 YouTubers that they all live together, and they do lots of challenges and football and Cards Against Humanity and FIFA and all things like that. There's loads of great videos out there. Some are sort of PO boxes and just kind of them, and some of them are gaming, and some of them are other things. So there's a whole host of things for you guys to see. This is their book that came out a little while ago. I don't really remember when. But yeah, it's just 7 boys who get up to loads of things. I really enjoyed this book because it's nice to kind of see how the Sidemen started. So if you're into kind of factual books, if you watch the Sidemen, or if you are planning to and you like them at any point, I would recommend reading this book because you get to know a lot more about them and how they started, when they started, and how they got to know each other. So yeah, this next one, I'm sure most of you have heard of him. Joe Sugg, username Evie. This one is slightly different, but for a first graphic novel, I think it's very good. I read a lot of comic books and graphic novels and things like that anyway, but if you've never read one before, I think this is definitely worth reading. If you want to get into that sort of thing, or you just want to experience something different, or you would like to read something quickly, it's not too difficult to read. The graphics are very well done. That's the first page. And you literally just read left to right and just make sure you look at the pictures as well. But yeah, it's very cleverly done. There is also a second one, username regenerated. I have read them and I really enjoyed them. I spent a long time where I've been doing exams and things like that, and I haven't had time to read proper books, at least not kind of recently, and when I was doing my GCSEs before that and things like that. So that's when I find comic books and graphic novels and things like that really nice to read, because it means I'm not reading words as such, but it's easy to pick up and put down. So if you like that sort of thing, or you want to get into it, I would really recommend that you do so. This next one is an interesting one. It is Hello Life. This is not quite like anything I've ever read before, but I was so obsessed with it when it came out. I mean, I took it everywhere, like I practically slept with it. I took it to Egypt with me when I went, and I read it like 4 times while I was away. It's a really, really good book. I really enjoyed it. It's fiction. It's real life, so it's like relationships, being healthy, and something else, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've read it, but it was a really, really good book. I've read it several times. It's got recipes in it, which I use quite a lot because I just thought I'd try them and I really liked them in the end.